Good morning, everyone. Today in IPC, we are wrapping up our unit on geography. We'll still be talking about water, but our next topic is science. Today, though, we are thinking more about water use. One of your tasks for the weekend was to keep a weekend water diary. And this includes things that you might use water for quite commonly at home. These are things like getting ready for the day and for bed, washing your hands, your face, brushing your teeth, making sure your body is clean, flushing the toilet, drinking water, doing dishes, and watering houseplants. This is called domestic water use because this is the water you use in your house. Can you think of any other ways that water is used in the world? Well, one way that's very important for us is in farming. As we've learned before, and we will experiment with this week, plants need water to grow. They need water when they're growing in the fields. They also need water when they are cleaned and shipped to supermarkets or small shops for us to buy fruits and vegetables to eat. So plants need water to grow. We need plants to eat. If there was no water, we wouldn't have any food. Because animals also need water. Pictured here are some cows drinking from their trough. Do you like to eat beef or drink milk? Both of those require water. Down here on the right, bottom right, we have 3 chickens drinking water from their bowl. Do you like eggs? Do you like to eat chicken? Both of those require water as well. Just like plants and people, animals need water to live. If you like to eat fish or go fishing, fish need water to live. They need more than cows and chickens, obviously, because they live in a water habitat. Now, in the 2 pictures on the left, people are fishing with rods and poles and hooks. On the right, this is a different kind of fishing. This is called aquaculture or fish farming, and the fish are grown in these tanks to later be used mostly for human food. A lot of water goes into producing the food that we need. As we just talked about, most of it goes in when the plants are growing, or animals. Following that, we also need water for cleaning and making sure that everything is sanitized so there are no germs that might make us sick. Sometimes water is used to make other foods. If you can see here on the left, there's a slice of bread. Water is one of the ingredients used in making bread. Lastly, in food production, water is used for helping to keep food warm or cold while it's processed or transported. Let's have a look at these pictures on the left. This is the amount of water needed to produce one of each of these things. 1 hamburger requires 2,400 liters of water. 1 glass of milk requires 200 liters of water. 1 egg requires 135 liters of water. So if you had a glass of milk and an egg for breakfast, that's already 335 liters of water that were required just for your breakfast. An apple, which was my breakfast, requires 70 liters of water per apple. A slice of bread is 40 liters of water, and a potato is 25 liters of water. A lot of water goes into our food production, and often we don't even think about it. Another important source of water is clothing. Do you like wearing clothing? I know sometimes it gets hot and we'd like to wear less clothing, but without water, we wouldn't have any clothes. Let's look at the plant on the left. This plant is called cotton. You've probably heard of cotton. Many of our clothes are made of cotton. So are cotton swabs or cotton face pads you might use when you're in the bathroom. This is a very common crop used for cloth and clothing, and it grows throughout the world in warm places. Above here, there's a picture of cotton growing. Now this is just plain white cotton. What if we want our clothes colorful? That requires even more water so that the textile or the cloth can be dyed. It takes about 1,000 liters of water to make 1 kilogram of cotton. So lots and lots of water is used in the production of cloth and clothing. Another important way we can use water is for electricity. This is called hydroelectric power. Now the prefix hydro means water. So if you see hydro, you know that water is being talked about. Hydroelectric power is important because it's a renewable resource. Unlike oil and coal or natural gas, which will eventually run out, we have the same amount of water on the earth as we ever have had and ever will have. Kenya utilizes hydroelectric power quite well. They used to use it more, but right now about 49%, so that's almost half, of all of the electricity produced in Kenya comes from hydroelectric powers. This is actually a picture of a hydroelectric dam. That's what it's called when we stem the flow of water right here. This is a picture of a dam in Kenya. Another way water is used is for mining minerals. On the left, there are 2 pictures of men mining or panning for gold. So here, they're taking water and minerals and rocks out of a river, and then they're shaking it, or panning, to remove the excess water and hopefully find gold at the bottom. On the right, water is used for mining on a bigger scale. So here, these miners are shooting very, very strong water at the sand and rock soil faces to separate the soil that they will then try to look for minerals in. Base Titanium uses hydrocannons in their mining operation. Another important source of water is for heating and cooling. Have a look at the picture on the left, this one, with the orange hose. This is in-floor heating. Now, I remember in Mr. Scullion's housing discussion, his lesson, he spoke about in-floor heating in old Roman houses. In-floor heating is still used today because in some places it's very, very cold in the winter. So through these pipes flows warm water. A floor will be built on top of these pipes. So in the winter, this water will run through and warm up the floor, so your toes won't freeze to death. You won't get frostbite in your house. On the opposite side, opposite from heating is cooling, there's a picture on the right of a computer cooling system. As you probably know from using almost any form of modern technology, the longer you use it, the hotter it becomes. And if your computer or your phone get too hot, they will shut down and not work. So water has been used for cooling computers, especially big computer systems, for quite a while. Now, water is also used for playing or for recreation. We can use water, the ocean or lakes to swim, to boat. Here's a kayak on the bottom. Here's some people enjoying a glass-bottom boat tour. Do you have a swimming pool in your compound? Or perhaps your friend has a pool in their compound. Swimming pools contain a lot of water. Down here on the right, these children don't have a swimming pool, but they're cooling down by playing with a sprinkler. So, water is very, very important in all of our lives, not just at our homes. Water's important, let's recap, for playing, for heating and cooling systems, for mining minerals, for making energy, for making clothing, for making food, and that includes plants and animals. So, have a think about how much water you think the world uses, and why is it important to make sure that we all have access to water? I look forward to hearing your thoughts, and we'll see you later.